Very well then. Hi everyone, good morning. Thank you very much for joining this meeting once again. It's a pleasure as always to welcome each and every one of you to our EalSuite Evolution webinar series. And here we are like really amazed to see such kind of an audience turning up week in, week out. So that's really inspiring for me. And as for everyone, I was also waiting for this day to explain everything, the all new releases that we had in the previous week. So we will be speaking exclusively about direct inventory management, template customization, and the visibility on purchase order and more. And we have so many things to speak about. But before that, let me just give you a few minutes for everyone to settle down and we'll get started. All right. All right, so before getting started, let me just explain the different features or options that you have on your screen. From the very left, you can see that you have the chat option. You can chat with me in between the meetings if you're coming across any doubts. Then we have the Q&A section dedicated for all your questions to be asked. So you can ask all your doubts regarding the releases, regarding each and every feature within the software. You can ask me for different use cases in which I can explain all of those new updates. And you have the raise hand option. So if you're coming across any doubt, you can use the raise hand option. I'll get the notification and we'll have a conversation on that. There's a reaction icon as well, so you can utilize it at the right time. All right, so none of you will not be able to unmute yourself. So I've already made that clear. None of you will not be able to unmute yourself. We'll have a verbal communication at the very end of the meeting. You can utilize the chat as well as the Q&A option every time when you're having some kind of a query or if there's anything that you want to ask me with. All right, so I hope that everybody has settled in nicely and let's get started. All right, so we will first of all start with our release note itself. All right, so we will be speaking about our new feature updates, enhancements, and the issues that we have resolved on 29th or the release on 29th of June 2024. And we will be starting first of all with direct inventory management. So you can improve your stock oversight with the new ability to delete the unallocated inventory out items directly from the inventory out list. And this feature enhances your ability to manage stock levels efficiently and accurately. So it has everything to do with inventory management, inventory out, and how we have introduced the delete feature with respect to inventory out. Then coming into the enhancement part, we have the template customization for template design 4 in the template builder. Now we'll be supporting table footers. So offering you additional design flexibility to tailor your documents to your business needs. Then, just like sales order, we have introduced a purchase order visibility when it comes to the item view page. So gain clearer insights into the procurement process with a new visibility of pending purchase order items in the item view page. So this can enhance and help you manage your purchases more efficiently by keeping you informed about your outstanding orders. So purchase orders in the pending status will now be visible in your item view page. Next is the resolved issues. We'll start it off with the custom field creation fix. So we have fixed an error that occurred when switching the lookup type into a multi-select lookup type during the custom field creation. And this resolution ensures that there's a smoother customization of the data fields without any disruptions. And we'll be looking into that. And finally, we have the refund processing capability improved. So we have enhanced the system's handling of refund transactions using checks, ensuring that these can now be processed successfully without any kind of issues, thereby improving your financial management and your transaction accuracy. All right, so we have one feature update, two enhancement, and two resolved issues. So we'll be taking a look into each and every one of them. While I'm explaining all those updates, you can listen closely. If you need new and more use cases, you can ask me for that. You can request me for that. And at the very end, once each and every topic is discussed, you can ask me your doubts regarding that as well. I'll be giving you time. All right. So we'll start with the direct inventory management itself. We'll move to direct inventory management. So this enhances your inventory management capabilities. How? That's the first question. So you can delete the unallocated inventory items right now, which was or which are inventory out. So users can now directly remove unallocated inventory items from the inventory out list, streamlining the process. And also this can ensure an efficient stock level management. So how can we do this? First of all, we will go to our items module. You can select inventory and we'll select the item called M24. So the unit is pieces, the sales price, the cost price, the average cost price, the tax slab, everything is set. And you can see that the availability of the item is 20. So we'll go to the view page of this and the basic details. Yes, you can come here. You can see the stock details. 20 is the quantity available in your first or default warehouse. And we have also provided the details of latest batch in, which was on 15/07/24. We have purchased it. So we can look into all of these data. Now, let's imagine a case in which we are inventory outing this particular item. So we will go to our inventory out submodule and we'll create a new inventory out. So we'll select a customer. Is there any specific customer that I should be bothered about? Yeah, I'll select Atul Anish. So I've already written down that name. We'll keep the date just like this and M24, and I will be selecting the quantity as 3. So anyway, the quantity will be selected from the default warehouse. That's the name of the warehouse. It's default warehouse, and it has been already been set as a default warehouse as well. So don't get confused with the naming. Yeah, that's it. We can click on save. So what's a new change? That's the first question, right? Till this moment, if you did create an inventory out, let me just show the view. Yeah, we have M24, that's the item, 3 quantity. This is not allocated to any invoice right now, so that's the case. Let's return back to the item view page. And if you refresh this page, you can see that the quantity of item has been decreased, right? The availability is not 20 right now, it's just 17. There were no option till this moment or till this release for us to delete this. Or I mean, let's take a situation where you made a mistake by, with the quantity or something like that, and there were no editing facility, right? So how can you get this item back into your inventory? There were no options like that. So that was we were stuck in that moment. So what can we do? We have introduced the delete functionality. So right now we can delete this particular inventory out, and you can see that the item has returned back into our warehouse or into our inventory. So that is the case. So we have introduced a delete feature, but there are other dependencies in this as well. All right, we'll again create an inventory out because this is really important. I have to show you the dependencies as well. The same item and the same quantity, I'll be creating a new inventory out, returning back to the item view page, and yes, now we'll create a new invoice. In a published state with the item or with some other items as well. So keep the item like this with 2 quantities. And this is the total value we'll be getting, and I'll be saving it. So once you create an invoice like this against Adul Anish and you have an inventory out created against the same customer, then we have the option to associate the items here, right? So yes, we have this items here, the item name, the quantity, the item number, everything. I mean, it's very easy to capture this right now because we only have a single item which we have inventory outed. So you can click on submit and you can see the details of the associated products here, right here in the invoice view page itself. Now the question is, like, can we delete this? Right, there is a kind of a dependency for this inventory out against an associated invoice, right? So at this point, if you try to delete this, then you will be getting a message that the inventory out has been used in an invoice. So this is not in an unallocated manner. It has been allocated against an invoice. So in such situations, as always, you won't be able to delete it. So that is the major dependency that we will be speaking about when it comes to the delete functionality when it comes to inventory out. So that is really important. So if you have allocated it, then you won't be able to delete it. If you're allocated it to any invoice, then you won't be able to delete it. So that is it. Otherwise, you will be able to delete any other inventory items and it will be returning back into your inventory or into your default warehouse. So that's it. So that is the update here. So if you're having any doubts, we can have a discussion on that. Anything? Is anyone having any doubt? Yes, yes, Shreya, if you have not allocated or associated the inventory out against any of your invoices, any of the customer's invoice, then you will be able to delete it. Otherwise, you won't be able to delete it. That's the case. If it is clear for everyone, then we can move on to our first enhancement, right? Yes, then we can move on. So that was our first update regarding the inventory management. Next one is regarding document customization, the output document customization when it comes to table design 4. All right. So now we have the option of the flexibility to set table footers in template builder for every table design. So till this moment, we were only having that feature for table design 1, 2, and 3. Now we introduced it for table design 4 as well. Right. So like everybody will be having, what's the difference between all the rest of the table design and table design 4? So there's a very important difference when it comes to all the rest of the table design and table design 4. So that's the reason why it was not introduced along with the first 3 table designs. So we'll be first taking a look into what the difference is, and then I'll be showing you what the new enhancement is. So it's an additional design flexibility that we have introduced. And even for people who's using table design 4, now we'll be getting this functionality. So let's see what it is. We'll go to the sales module and select invoice. And we'll just keep this invoice view page right here as of now. And then we'll navigate into settings and select the first branch into a template design template builder V2. Now, let me just select a custom invoice. All right. Custom invoice, the document properties is everything is set. The header and the footer is everything is set. We don't have to make any changes there. Let's come to table design, table design drop down. And let me just show you what all things consist within invoice number 213. So we have 4 items. It's a very straightforward invoice that we have created. Nothing complicated here. And we'll just view it in table design 3 first, and then table design 4, and then I'll show you what the enhancement is. So we'll just save it right now. We'll take a view in custom template. So you don't have to look into into headers and footers. I want everyone to concentrate on the table here. You can see the list of items and then the subtotal, the CGST, SGST values, and the total value. So see, we have a table, all the details like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 columns here, which I've added. We have a subtotal, the CGST breakdowns for 1.59, 6 slabs and everything, and the total value as well. Now let's keep this here, and we'll return back to our template builder. Let me just, this is the tab. We'll go to table design 4, save this, return back here, and let's take the next view. See, again here we have 10 columns, but you don't have the summary details here regarding the subtotal or the CGST, IGST, slab breakdowns, or the total value. So you can see the difference directly from here. So what is the difference between table design 3 and table design 4? That's very important. We can take a closer look into table design 1 and 2 as well, but that's not really important here. The difference is that when we compare all of those table designs and table design 4, then you lag the summary. So for people using such kind of a design, they also need such kind of photo. So that's what we have bought in. We'll keep this page here itself. Or no. We'll rather go into a different invoice, maybe this invoice. Yes, in this invoice, we have table header 1 and table header 2. And let's see what the difference will be. But before that, we will go to the template builder page itself, and we'll keep it table design 3 and update columns. So in update columns, we have selected 11 columns here. And in 11 columns, you have quantity, discount, total, tax value, taxable value. And for tax value, we have enabled the show header sum total. It was already enabled, so you can click on submit. And this is not really necessary right now. We'll be stepping into our enhancement view. We can select PDF. So remember, we are in invoice 215, where you have headers added, sections or headers added. And in the view itself, you can see the header total values also given. So what will be the output when it comes to the selected output template, right? Yes, this is it. So we have header 1, header 2, the subtotals are also being shown. We have a total of 5 items present here as well, right? So this one, let me just validate it. Table design 3, submit, save. We will refresh the page. Yeah, this is table design 3. We have all the headers and then we have the summary area as well. But for table design 4, the headers were not shown till this particular release. Now, if we select table design 4 also, and if we reload, you can see table design 4 also right now shows different headers and the header sum total. So the key aspect of this particular release is that table design 4 was really unique because it was not having the summary. As you can see, the summary of the subtotal or the total or the GST breakdowns or anything like that, right? But we have introduced the header, the footer detail, the footer total functionality or the visibility or the UI into this table design 4 as well. So that is the way in which we have enhanced the whole template builder when it comes to table designs. I hope it's clear for everyone. If it's not clear, then we will just keep the view in table design 2 and we'll go to the custom invoice output. See, the adjustment values will be shown in table design 2. And for table design 1, we'll reload the page and you can see the difference. It will be shown in this particular value, in this particular manner. I hope that everybody's getting the or getting a clear understanding. Is there any doubts? All right, so I can see nobody's having any doubts. It's clear. So we can move forward with our next enhancement, and that is enhanced purchase order visibility. So view your pending purchase orders right now in the items view page. So we can work this out in a very easy manner. We will go to the same item that we just dealt with, M24. There are no pending purchase orders. How do I know that? Because if there are pending purchase orders, it will be shown here. So see, earlier there were a section called latest batch in, and then just below that there was a section called sales order. So we've introduced the purchase order section into the item view page here. So we'll go to a purchase order creation, select a supplier M24 with 5 quantities. Yeah, in a published manner, but it will be getting published and will be in a pending manner. So if I reload this page, I can get the purchase order in a pending manner here, 5 quantities from which warehouse it will be showing you. Now, what happens if I mark it as accepted? It is in an accepted state. If I reload it, it will be gone. So it's very simple, very clean update or enhancement. We were introduced a purchase order section into the item view page. Earlier it was not present. Every pending purchase orders will be getting listed here. Once the status changes from pending to anything else, it will be disappearing from here. Straightforward as that. I'm quite sure that nobody will be having any doubts here. Is there anything that you want to discuss? Nothing. All right. We are moving into our fixes. So we'll start with the custom field creation fix. Rather than explaining this, showing to you what the issue was, that will be better. So we'll navigate into the first branch custom field section. And while creating a custom field, let's create the field name is not really important here. A lookup field. Under lookup, we have a lot of modules, right? We have a lot of modules. And under multi-select lookup, we only have 4 modules. Let's imagine that your intention is to create a multi-select lookup, but you were just typing in field type as lookup and you saw lookup, then you selected it, and right here you were coming down and you selected something like a purchase order. Then you got to understand that, okay, lookup, no, I need multi-select lookup. So you are switching it from lookup to multi-select lookup, but you're switching it with a lookup module, keeping it as purchase order, which is not present under multi-select lookup. All right. So you're doing it just like this. Okay. So right now, if you switch from lookup to multi-select lookup, the lookup module will automatically get switched into customer, even though it was purchase bill back when it was lookup, right? It was not happening. That was the issue. It was just showing a blank, lookup module here. And if you click on submit, we were not able to properly use the custom field created as well. So we have fixed that issue. That's it, straightforward. It's a very, I would say, delicate issue because you have to, in your workflow, you have to make some kind of a mistake, I would say. Then you're trying to rectify that mistake, and then you came across this particular bug. So it's a funny thing. All right, so it's a very straightforward one. We'll be moving into our final bug, the refund processing enhancement. All right, so here what happened is that when you're coming into the invoice section, we have so many invoices and everything. Let me just show you this spot. Handling check was the issue. So implementing improved process for refund transaction involving check to streamline and enhance the financial operations. So this has been improved right now. Yeah, let me just bring the screen up. Okay, now we have so many invoices and there will be unpaid values, there will be advance payments made of these kinds of things. So for that, we can go to the customer payment section. And while you are returning credits in such situations, this model comes up. You're selecting your customer date, then you're choosing an account. The amount is something like a 5,000, let's say. Narration is returning, then you are selecting check. You can choose your check number, check date, reference, cost center, everything. And I can click on say submit and the amount is returned successfully. This was not the case. If you were selecting checks, then the record was not properly getting created. In the return credits manner, we were not able to properly handle checks. That was the issue. So right now you've seen that the returning has been successful. Earlier, it was not done successful if we were selecting checks. We have rectified that issue. So yeah, that was the bug that we fixed. So that was all about the feature updates, the enhancements, and the bugs that we have fixed. So let me just summarize what we did on 29th of June. So there was a concern from the customers that even if it was a mistake from the side, that they made a fault while creating an inventory out, directly from a project or anything like that. It was in an unallocated manner. The items, they were not able to return it back into the inventory if they did make some kind of a discrepancy. So we introduced a delete functionality for inventory out. But the dependency is that if you have allocated those items against any invoices, then you won't be able to delete the inventory out. The next one, the first enhancement was related to the template design v4. till this moment, template design V4 were not able to show, header footers, totals. So we've introduced that as well. Then we introduced a section for purchase order under the item view page. So for pending orders, it will be getting reflected there. Any other status from pending, it will be getting disappeared from there. Then we spoke about the lookup and the multi-select lookup custom field creation issue. And finally, we show how successfully we can return your credit value by handling checks as well. So these were the things that we've discussed in this particular webinar. I'm sure that you will be having doubts. You can ask me your doubts specific to these particular updates or any other feature within the software as well. So it's time for you guys to shoot. Is a delete functionality in inventory out applicable while inventory outing from other projects? Yes, if you're creating an inventory out directly or doing it from any section of the software, then the delete functionality will be applicable. You can delete it unless or until you have unallocated items in that inventory out, you will be able to delete it. Yes. Any other doubts? Nothing. I can see nothing else coming in. So which means that it's time for us to wind up this webinar. So thank you very much, everyone, as always, for joining. Every 2 weeks, we have releases, and we are really excited to come back here and explain everything, bi-weekly. And thank you, everyone, for showing up as well. All right. So I'll be back in 2 weeks' time, and we'll meet again. So in between, if you're coming across any doubts, if you're having any queries regarding any of the feature updates or anything like that, you can always reach out to your service partners or directly to us at info@ealsuite.com. We will be providing you all the details so that your doubts will be getting rectified. All right. If you are having any kind of, issues with regards to software, if you want any specific features to be added, then you can go to our community forum and you can request for those features out there. We have our forum open for everyone, and we will be helping you out in that platform as well. All right. Go through our website, our documentation for understanding more about the updates. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye-bye. Take care.